to the academic path and I was like, you know what? Science has always been a vibe. I go to like a school in my city. I wanted to go like to Ottawa or somewhere far away. That didn't work out. So then I stayed home and then I did health science. And then I didn't like health science. And I vlogged that if you want to go back and watch it. And then I switched to nursing. Sometimes I don't know if I'll really like last in this program, especially last year. Last year I was like, bro, I'm dropping out of this. But I recently made a friend. The way I met her was kind of like in a group setting, I think. I will never forget this, but basically this is like first day of nursing school. I was in a circle talking to people and everybody's just sharing like, oh, like, where are you from? What program were you in? Or like, how old are you? Whatever. And then this girl next to me was just like, oh, my name is this. And I was in health science. And then, you know when you hear people like have things in common with you, you just automatically start listening? I heard that she was in health science and she was like, you know, another girl my age. So I was like, okay, like maybe I can make a friend. Except I was kind of like shy. So I tried like being near her all the time and just hoping that like the universe will bring us together. A lot of the times in this program, especially in labs, things will be done in partners. So it'll be like, okay, find a partner and take their blood pressure, take their pulse, or practice an injection site on them. So I would always try to like be around her in her presence so that when they say partners, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're near each other, let's just be partners. I tried so hard first year and that did not work because somebody like scooted in front of me and then they were partners for the rest of the year. And I was like, shoot, like I missed my chance with her. And then I think this is December of like 2020 or 2021. Basically I got her number somehow and I was like, oh, my friend wants to know what classes you're taking. And she sent me like her schedule. And then I basically went home and like just copied everything she was taking. And then the semester after that, I was like, oh my gosh, girl, like look at us. We're in the same classes this year. It kind of sounds like a stalkerish vibe, but it's not. And then from there, we kind of like became partners for everything. And then there was this like health assessment class. And I remember in the first class, they were like, okay, like get to know your partner, do like a full health assessment on them. So I asked her like a bunch of questions. And then we figured out that we both had like a kiwi allergy. We both have a sister. We're like left-handed. Like when I tell you, I feel like I have like a super brain when it comes to like targeting the right friends. Maybe not the men, but when it comes to like girl or friends, I think I have a brain for it. Anyways, from there, we kind of just became friends-ish. I was still in my stalker era because I remember for a little bit, I would be like, oh, do you need a ride home? And she's just like, don't you live that way, like 10 minutes? I was like, no, no, no. I have a shift in the city you live in, which is like 4 cities away, but I work there and that's on my way to where I work, so let me drive you home. I didn't work there at all. I literally just wanted to like spend more time with her. This sounds like an episode from you. I'm not Joe. I just really desperately need to make a friend in this program. But yeah, I don't really know where I'm going. Sometimes I feel like I'm really only sticking through this for her. It sounds romantic for some reason, but I swear it's not. Also, I don't think the friend that I was talking about knows about like the whole YouTube channel thing. And for some reason, that's just eating. Like we don't have each other on like Instagram or like Snapchat or like anything. We literally strictly text. So I'm like, ugh, it just feels like, I don't know, it feels intimate. And the only reason why I feel comfortable talking about this is because I know she will never see it. I'm so sorry, I'm not even answering these questions properly. I'm just talking. This is, okay, the last part says, I'd love to hear how your life has led you to this path. I feel like life kind of led me here because I kind of like kept failing at stuff. Not failing, but like that sounds so pessimistic. I kept trying at different things and they didn't always work, so I tried something else. And now we're here. We're gonna use some blush now. I have 3 shades. I'm kind of feeling red for some reason. I actually saw a TikTok of a girl who did multiple shades on her cheek, so we're gonna try that today. Me personally would love to get the tea on some of the most strangest guys you met and what uncomfortable situations did they put you in. I think this is during the summer. One of my friends, y'all can probably guess who it is, but she had like this, I feel like I did this in the wrong order. I feel like it was supposed to be red, then peach, then purple. Not. It's okay, we moved. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. and my friend had like a little link up with this guy, but she didn't want to go alone, so I was like, obviously I'm coming with you. Usually if I'm going with my friend somewhere, I don't need like a homie there. Like, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, bring your homie, so like for my girl. No, like I will gladly third wheel. I don't care. Like to me, as long as there's a bed and I can sleep, sure, do what you want. The whole bring a homie for my girl, don't do it. Anyways, my friend and the guy are downstairs doing their own thing, and obviously I'm gonna leave them alone, so I go upstairs. And the homie, we're gonna call him Slinky. It'll make sense once I finish the story, but I was upstairs and I was just exploring exploring, and then I saw like a grad book. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, let me open this and see what's in the grad book. And the homie comes in. Mind you, I was minding my business, y'all. Like the whole time during the hangout, I'm avoiding. I just didn't feel like we needed to chop it up. Like I'm literally just here as a chauffeur, like a driver, like an Uber driver. I was fine with that. Also, I feel like this blush combination is just not eating the way it should have. Yeah, I don't know if I like it, but I'm gonna put more powder on it to like cover up this blush mess, because who told me to try that combo? Girl, I usually only use one. I only was just feeling different and quirky because I'm like, you know what? I'm filming, let me try a different method. Girl, no, stick to what you know. Anyway, I'm sitting on the bed just opening his grad book, and I don't know how he got there. Ooh, ew. I opened this book and I'm flipping through pages, literally mind my business. Why in the next second, I turn around and this man is behind me with like his legs around. I was like, how did we, ew. I feel like Slinky is the appropriate name because the way this man just morphed out of thin air and just wrapped around me, I was like, what are you doing? The way I got up with quickness, I was like, I have a boyfriend. I thought that would work, but it didn't. After I said I have a boyfriend, why was he trying to quiz me? He was trying to be like, well, what's his name? Well, what school does he go to? I'm like, sir, are you my auntie? I don't know if I'm a good liar or not, but basically I just described like a random guy at school. I was like, oh yeah, his name is Cameron. He goes to my school, and he just kept quizzing me, and I should have just been like, stop asking me questions, but I was just like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. I just went with that lie, and I thought it was gonna work, but he just kept going, and I'm just like, please God, give me a situation. Anyways, fast forward, because we're gonna fast forward. I literally ended up just pretending to fall asleep, and that's not the first time I've done that. I feel like that's like my defense mechanism. Whenever I'm uncomfortable with like a man, I literally just go, ugh, I'm so tired. Also, we're gonna do some eyeliner. Oh, I didn't do my eyebrows. Y'all gotta keep me in check. There's another encounter I had, and we're just gonna save that for another time. You should definitely do your own confessions, not the fan submissions. Fill us in on the T-Deb, most embarrassing moments to childhood things, to your Wattpad account, and what you wrote or read on there. That's a lot. I feel like that's like a video thing. But as for the Wattpad thing, I think we all say. No, I think we all know what kind of Wattpads I was reading, y'all. Like, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to guess the trope. If you guessed enemies to lovers, you are correct. Literally, that was the only type of Wattpad content I was consuming. I don't know why I was so obsessed with that. Like, what was my feral obsession with enemies to lovers? Why do I want an enemy so bad? I read this book. It was called Cool Prince. I don't know if y'all read it, but like, everybody was raving how it was some enemies to lovers book. That level of enemies to lovers was too much, girl. He was out here like beating her up. Like, I shouldn't laugh at that, but like, he was actually cruel. Like, I know it's called Cool Prince, but that man was evil. He was a demon. Everybody in the reviews were like, oh my gosh, like, Cool Prince, enemies to lovers. Girl, that man was evil. What is the attraction there? Why do I want somebody to hate me so bad? I feel like I have this like low-key hero complex where if somebody hates me, I'm like, I can fix him. Girl, you can't. Sit down, please. Like, I think reading the fantasy books, it like seeped into my mind that I like need somebody to hate me so that I can start liking them. Anyways, now I want a friends to lovers trope. Something about that is just hitting a lot more for me, girl. Also, I was bored the other day and I was writing down my green flags. I realized that a big green flag for me is if they, hear me out before I say it, because whenever I speak, y'all love to be like, oh my gosh, here she goes again. But listen, wouldn't it be such a green flag if you go on a date and you're like, oh, like, what are you into, you know, whatever. Imagine he says, I'm really into rom-coms. I feel like I'd bust it open for some, like, I hate to be this easy, but like, let me be honest, I'm actually very easy, y'all. Like, the amount of things men can learn from reading spicy novels, it's probably super unrealistic because, like, let's be honest, have you ever spoken to somebody and like a guy and they've been like, oh yeah, I love spicy books? I've never heard anybody say that before. Also, another unrealistic thing that I kind of want to experience is like the whole fake dating trope. It's definitely never gonna happen to me, and I don't even know if that happens in real life. Like, has anybody ever been in a situation where they're like, shoot, I gotta fake date this 6'3" hot guy who happens to have the same interests as me and who happens to be my exact type and I happen to be his type. I have to fake date him to keep my career. I don't know how it usually works in books, but like, if somebody can tell me if they've had to fake date somebody, what situation were you in and how can I replicate that? Anyways, I'm waiting for these men to start reading those books. Maybe that can be like a section on like Hinge or like those dating profiles where you can like section off and be like, I want somebody who's this height, has to be these ages, and has to at least read 5 fan fictions. I genuinely feel like y'all would benefit from a fan fiction. Like, also, do we remember when I went on that first date? I don't know if y'all watched the video, but in the video, I was like, oh, I want our first date to be on a walk because I'm nervous and I don't want to like sit at a dinner table with him. I've changed my mind about that. I want to like dress up and like, I kind of wish we did like a dinner thing. I don't know, at this stage of my life, y'all, I'm a grown woman, I'm a grandmother. I don't want to give friend vibes. I want to give like women like, ooh, you know? So I feel like when I was like, can we take our dog for a walk? He was like, sure. I don't know,